DDG wants to hurt Hallie, and you cannot convince me otherwise. You're saying that you want to protect her image, but yet you're going to the internet about your business, knowing that people are going to attack her in her comments. She took down her Instagram comments. They were up, I think, yesterday, and she took them down. You know, because you were with her, that when it came out that she was the Black Little Mermaid, people demolished her and destroyed her self-confidence. She had all these attacks because of people on the internet not liking her race, and her race being in that movie, being the main character in that movie. And you're doing the thing that broke her down. You can't tell me that's not evil. You cannot tell me that is not evil. Now you're having people go to her comments and bully her over your son, knowing that that's what probably caused her anxiety and depression in the first place. People going on the line and bullying her simply based on the way she looked and just her being her. And on top of that, she literally released a video saying that her and Halo have RSV. Granted, maybe the video isn't up to date, but do people not realize that RSV sends babies to the hospital? Unfortunately, some babies are in ICU because of RSV. RSV is not something to play around. And if she also has it, she's also going through it. Why would she want somebody in her house, even if it is the father, when she doesn't even feel good? If she has a fever, if she's getting migraines because of RSV or whatever the case is, doesn't feel good, why would she want somebody else in her house? Also, someone bringing in outside germs. No telling where DDG has been. She probably been watching his streams, been seeing everybody and their mama coming in and out of his house, because one thing about DDG is there's always people at that house. So you're bringing in those outside germs. And you cannot convince me that he's only bringing this to the internet because the other day, it was either last week or the other day, she posted with the guy who played Prince Eric. And I feel like this is just his way of like getting back at her. And why do we even need to know, DDG, that your baby is sick? Because one thing about Hallie is that she has a public image. Her winning Grammys, her being the Little Mermaid, her proximity to Beyonce alone puts her in a category that you are not in, and you know that. But people are dangerous in this world. You just told the whole entire world that Hallie and Halo are at home. You just told the whole entire world that not only are they at home, but the baby is sick, which means that they're probably going to be at the house for a while. So if someone ever wanted to threaten their safety, they know exactly where to go. If someone ever wanted to hurt her or the baby, they know exactly where to go. You literally gave the whole entire internet their location and told them how long they may or may not be at that location because of them being sick. And then you wonder why she doesn't want Halo on streaming. You wonder why she doesn't want Halo around you sometimes. The world is messed up. And in LA, people, I want to say, didn't they like rob Chris Brown? Like, don't they like break into his house like 4 times a year? They even robbed Beyonce's mom's house that one time and stole something from her safe, or stole money or something like that. Like, the world is dangerous. And you want to talk about protecting her image? You're not even protecting her safety. You're not even protecting his safety. Why would somebody want their baby on the internet 24/7? What celebrity do you see who has their child on the internet 24/7? And if they do, they probably live in like upstate New York. They probably live in like an area where you know for a fact they got some type of security at their house. Like, why does he want to ruin her so bad? It's so evil, especially knowing the hardships she probably went through when it came to her mental health, when people were hating on her for being the Little Mermaid. And not just that, you are the baby father. Y'all have to be on schedules. You can't just go over her house anytime you want. That's not how co-parenting works. But the thing is, you know that. You know that. Because if she was coming up to your house 24/7, especially if you had girls over there or whatever the case is, you know that you would have a problem with that. Like, I really feel for Hallie. I really feel for her family, because it probably takes a lot for Chloe, their sister, their other sister, and their brother, and like their parents, family, cousins, whoever, to sit back and not say anything. Because this is literally insane. Stop bringing your business to the internet, especially when you know you have crazy folks on the internet who is just waiting to do some messed up stuff.
Is DDG a good dad for bringing his custody issues with H. Bailey to the internet? Or is there another way? DDG and H. Bailey's dispute raises a crucial question. How can parents prioritize their child's well-being amidst personal conflict? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Black Tea Podcast. Today, we're diving into a sensitive topic that's been making waves online, the custody dispute between DDG and Hallie Bailey. As always, we'll approach this discussion with a Christian perspective, focusing on the principles of family, responsibility, the importance of resolving conflict privately, and the impact of our actions. I've seen the clips and the commentary surrounding this situation. It's clear there's a lot of frustration and pain on both sides. But what can we, as a community rooted in faith, learn from this very public disagreement? How can we apply biblical principles to understand and navigate such challenges? First, let's talk about the treacherous role of the internet. DDG has taken to social media to express his concerns about not being able to see his child. While I understand his frustration, airing grievances online rarely leads to resolution. In fact, it often exacerbates the situation. As Christians, we are called to resolve conflict privately, seeking wise counsel and mediation when necessary. Social media is not a biblical tool for conflict resolution. It is more likely to incite further attacks and bullying from supporters, as has already happened in this case. The internet also never forgets, and their child may see this one day. This brings me to my second point, the critical importance of responsible fatherhood. Many people online are praising DDG for wanting to be involved in his child's life. And while that is commendable, wanting to be present is only the first step. True fatherhood requires consistent effort, sacrifice, and a willingness to put the child's needs above one's own desires. It means working with the mother, even when there is disagreement, to create a stable and loving environment for the child. DDG seems to feel like a nanny. Ultimately, a father's rights are curtailed the moment he and the mother are no longer in a committed relationship. The father is at the mercy of the mother's decisions. Now, let's prayerfully consider Halle Bailey's unenviable position. She has faced immense public scrutiny and even hatred, particularly after being cast as the Little Mermaid. The internet can be a brutal place, and it's understandable that she would want to protect her child from that negativity. As mothers, women often have a protective instinct, wanting to shield their children from harm. However, co-parenting requires open communication and a willingness to compromise. Some suggest that she may be using the child as a pawn, but it is also not required of her if she is not married to the father of her child. Another crucial issue that we need to address head-on is the foundational concept of respect within families. A wife must respect her husband through loyalty and consideration. Consideration means thinking about how your decisions will impact others. However, in this case, the two are not married, so this standard does not fully apply. This underscores the importance of marriage as a covenantal relationship built on mutual respect and commitment. Next, let's discuss the appropriate and necessary legal avenues available. Several commentators have pointed out that DDG should pursue legal channels to establish his parental rights and create a formal custody agreement. This is sound and practical advice. While going to court can be stressful and expensive, it is often the most effective way to ensure that both parents have clear guidelines and expectations. It allows a judge to make decisions based on the best interests of the child, rather than on fleeting emotions or the pressures of social media. Another incredibly important lesson for us to learn from this situation is about thoughtfully navigating co-parenting relationships after a breakup. Co-parenting relationships can be incredibly complex and emotionally charged. Ideally, parents should strive to prioritize the well-being of their children above all else, shielding them as much as possible from the inevitable conflict. Finally, let's soberly reflect on the potentially devastating long-term impact of these decisions and actions. The raw and unfiltered clips of this painful dispute will likely remain online for years, if not decades, to come. Halo, their child, may one day see these videos and read the often vicious comments. As parents, we must be ever mindful of the messages we are sending and the example we are setting for our children. Our words and actions have far-reaching consequences, not just for ourselves in the present moment, but for the lives and futures of our children as well. As a final word, it must be said that the instability of the parents' relationship is the root of these issues. It is always best to get married before having children. So, what's the ultimate takeaway from this difficult situation? This very public dispute serves as a stark reminder that family disputes should always be handled with the utmost care, discretion, and an unwavering focus on the long-term well-being of the child involved. The often toxic environment of the internet is simply not the appropriate place to attempt to resolve deeply personal and complex family conflicts. Instead, we should consistently seek wise counsel from trusted mentors, pursue appropriate legal avenues when necessary, and always strive to act in a way that honors God, upholds biblical principles, and protects the precious sanctity of our families. It is also a powerful reminder to get married before having children. Thank you for joining me on the Black Tea Podcast. I pray that this discussion has been both helpful and thought-provoking for you. Remember to like, subscribe,